This is a true story that happened to me as a kid. It was arguably the weirdest and definitely the most terrifying experience I've ever had. This was in 2012. I was 17, living in a quiet suburb outside of Minneapolis. My parents were celebrating their 20th anniversary in Hawaii and had left me home alone for the weekend. I wasn't a bad kid, so they trusted me. No parties, no friends over, just me, the dog, and a stocked fridge. Friday night was uneventful. I played Xbox, microwaved pizza, and stayed up too late. Around 1:30 a.m., I went to bed. At about 3 a.m., I woke up to our golden retriever, Daisy, barking. Deep, sharp barks. The kind she only made when someone was at the door. My first thought was that maybe my parents had forgotten something. But when I checked my phone, there were no missed calls. Then, I heard it. A door closing somewhere downstairs. Not slamming. Just a solid click, like someone had shut it carefully. Daisy was still growling at the top of the stairs, fur standing up along her back. Every light in my room was off, but the hall nightlight was on, casting this faint orange glow. I remember staring down the hall, waiting for something to move. After a full minute of silence, I told myself I was imagining things. I grabbed a baseball bat from my closet, mostly for my own peace of mind, and went to check. Downstairs looked normal. Front door locked, back door locked, windows locked. But when I got to the basement door, I noticed something that made my skin crawl. The door was open, just a few inches, enough to see darkness beyond it. I always kept that door closed because Daisy refused to go down there, and it gave me the creeps. I closed it, locked it, and went back upstairs, trying to laugh it off. The next morning, everything seemed fine. I texted my parents, told them all was good, and spent most of the day gaming. That night, around midnight, the power flickered. Once, twice, then went completely out. I used my phone flashlight to check the breaker in the basement, but as I stood at the top of the stairs, I heard something that froze me in place. Breathing. Not heavy breathing. Not an animal. Slow, deliberate human breathing, echoing up from the dark. I slammed the door and called 911. The dispatcher stayed on the line while I grabbed Daisy and went outside. I waited on the front lawn until the cops arrived. 2 officers went inside with flashlights. They were down there maybe 10 minutes before one of them came back up and told me, in that careful police tone, "You did the right thing calling us." In the corner of the basement behind the water heater, they'd found a rolled-up sleeping bag, food wrappers, and an old duffel bag full of clothes. Someone had been living down there. But here's where it gets even worse. Inside the duffel bag, they found a small box with a bunch of Polaroid photos. Shots of me, sleeping, eating, sitting in the living room, from inside the house. The police never figured out exactly how long he'd been there. The working theory was that he'd been sneaking in through the basement's outside access door, a bulkhead entrance that my dad thought was sealed shut. They said he was probably homeless, maybe mentally unstable. But what no one could explain were the drawings they found tucked in the sleeping bag. Sketches of our house, but wrong. In one of them, there was a tall, shadowy figure standing behind me in my bedroom. In another, there was a shape in the corner of the living room that didn't look human. This guy was completely unstable. He claimed that something was telling him to watch me, and that he apparently heard audible voices telling him what to do. I've met people with schizophrenia before, but dear God, that's just creepy. Afterward, my parents had the basement sealed and the bulkhead welded shut, and about 2 years later we eventually moved.